According to several reports, in recent years millions of workers have been quitting unfulfilling, often low-paying jobs in troves. Last year around April this happened.
The only difference between working for a wage and being a slave is that working for a wage is supposedly temporary.
Being a wage slave is the absolute worst thing that you can possibly do with your life.
It's just a fair, it's a steady paycheck.
Or just take a damn job for a paycheck. Once you get into this shit, it just fucking latches onto you and you just can't get out.
You are selling your time for money.
This isn't what I was meant to do.
Well, you're free to leave at any time.
Yes, you're free to starve. That's exactly right.
When I started this job, I wanted to plan my escape.
But the plantation was more than an economic organization.
I mean doing meaningless work just to pay the bills.
A new report shows about 4 million Americans quit their jobs in April of this year.
I want to be doing what I want to do.
Yes.
I just want to build my own thing.
Time is the thing that is most valuable in your life. Because once I've spent time, it's gone.
So, it is a nice Monday morning at 6 a.m., and your alarm goes off. Ugh, you hit snooze. It goes off again. You start getting mad about it. But still, you hit snooze. And you keep doing this until you have no choice but to get out of bed because today, you have somewhere to be, your 9 to 5 job. You go to the office feeling exhausted and need to spend the next 8 hours making everyone but yourself richer. Your CEO just bought a third home in Hawaii, and you're thinking about how you probably shouldn't have spent $8 on that breakfast combo from McDonald's. By 11 a.m., your perfectionist boss has already had his "you're not good enough" chat with you. And at lunch, you realize that every day there's a new person to gossip about, and today that person is you. By 2 p.m., you've sat through hours of meetings that have gone nowhere, and the only thing that has really changed is that pile of work on your desk. At 4 p.m., you decide to check the time every 5 minutes to see if it is 5 o'clock yet, because you would rather be anywhere else. But remember, today's only Monday. You've got to do these 4 more times this week. Millions of Americans are escaping the rat race, or at least they're hoping to. For instance, the higher than normal quitting rate in recent times has befittingly been dubbed the Great Resignation. It's clear that more and more Americans are looking for a better way to live. But first, what is the rat race? It is a phrase that illustrates the futile pursuit humans engage in to get ahead financially. The phrase evokes an image of rats running without progression on a wheel, working hard every day but never gaining distance. Similarly, many people working long hours in unfulfilling corporate jobs often feel as if they are toiling their lives away without ever seeing the financial gains they desire. For some, the rat race means working 60 to 70 hours a week, just to be able to go on vacation for 2 weeks during the year. For others, the rat race means spending their lives working a job they hate to afford large, expensive houses or cars, which admittedly they then don't get to enjoy very much because when they get them, they are aged 60 and above and near their death. Getting out of the rat race can look different for different people. For some, escaping the rat race means early retirement and the leisure to truly spend your time how you want. For others, getting out of the rat race means work optional. Escaping the rat race can mean working a job that pays less, but is more fulfilling without experiencing financial distress. Or it can mean only working part-time at a high-stress job that pays well. Here are ways or steps you can use to get out of the rat race. 1. Define your dream life or goals by writing it down. The first step to escaping the rat race is working out what you really want from life. By escaping the rat race, you'll be taking the road less traveled, which can be scary and intimidating. If you want to escape the rat race, you need to know why. By writing down your goals, you are able to state your reasons clearly, so that if and when things get tough, you're motivated to keep moving forward. Write down what your dream life looks like, because it will be different for everyone. Some people want tropical beaches and sunset cocktails. Others would like to help out in third world countries. Many more might just want more time with their families. When you write down your goals, you can post them somewhere in your home, so they're a constant reminder of what you're working toward and why. No matter where you post your goals, make sure they're easily visible in a space you visit often. Your goals will be the motivation you need to make daily choices that take you further along the path you want to travel. This step is about redefining your expectations and realizing that the rat race isn't the only pathway available. You can do the things you always wanted, live the life you always dreamed about. Create a picture of your ideal situation. With that in mind, you'll have a far better chance of working out how to bring it to fruition. 2. Work on your expenses. Escaping the rat race entails changing our relationship with money and possessions. By changing your relationship, here is what I mean. If you are in the rat race, your life operates like this. You want money, so you get a high-paying job. The job pays well but limits your time. The result is a situation where you're cash-rich, but time-poor. To justify the lack of time, you naturally spend the money you've worked so hard to earn. You end up with the house, the clothes, the car, the fancy restaurants, and lavish vacations. To sustain the lifestyle you become accustomed to, you're forced to maintain the level of income that is fueling it. A vicious spiral develops. As you start earning more, you begin spending even more, forcing you to bring in ever-increasing sums of cash. The situation keeps on repeating. You walk away with masses of stuff and a huge number of financial obligations to boot. Simply, your lifestyle owns you, and not the other way around. You end up entering yourself into the rat race and committing yourself to it for longer than is probably healthy. But by tracking your spending can provide clarity on ways to cut back your expenses. If you can cut back your expenses, you'll have an easier time escaping the rat race. Cutting your expenses doesn't have to be painful. Sometimes, all you have to do is think more creatively or spend more time planning for your expenses. For instance, finding frugal ways to save money, such as couponing, automating your savings, and finding free fun things to do. Also, live a simpler life. Sell your things. Realize that all those possessions aren't bringing you long-term happiness. 3. Start saving. Now, I think you have heard this point ever since you were a child, so I won't cover much on it. Instead, I have linked a full video about it in the description below. Saving money is epitomized by the FIRE movement. FIRE is an acronym for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The idea is to prioritize future financial freedom by living a life of immense frugality in the meantime. You cut back as much as possible, thereby saving huge chunks of income, sometimes up to 70%. Do this for a number of years, and you can put away enough money to earn your financial freedom. Money isn't everything in life, but it equates to power when it comes to getting out of the rat race. You need it to survive. But by stepping out of a life of materialism and saving cash instead of spending it, you find a key to a happier existence. You buy your ticket out of the rat race, and you don't need to be earning megabucks to benefit from this strategy. Anyone with an average income can put away enough now to retire early. In a way, this is like stepping back from the rat race mentally before following through in practice. You soon beat the rat race in the process. 4. Increase your income. If you can't cut back on your expenses, or if you want to double down your efforts to escape the rat race, you can also take steps to increase your income or create multiple sources of income. There are 3 ways to increase your income that do not involve more time in the rat race by seeking a better paying job. These 3 ways are investing, starting a business, or aiming for passive income. To start off with passive income, let me explain. Active income is when you trade time for money. It is the usual setup that we have been brought up on. Get a job in exchange for a monthly wage that will sustain you just long enough until the next one. Passive income is the opposite. You earn income on autopilot without being forced to trade your time for it. It also comes in many forms. Some people have so much money already that the interest they earn on it is enough to live on. Others go into real estate and get passive income from the rent they charge tenants. Many people make investments that pay dividends each year. Some, like me, aim to earn it from YouTube videos, where affiliate income and advertising can eventually add up to a reasonable living. Increasing your income may also not be glamorous, but it can be life-changing. For example, you could get a side hustle like driving for Uber or DoorDash that allows you to work for extra money whenever you want. It's important to note that passive income doesn't mean there's no work involved. This YouTube channel is the perfect example. I spend hours of my life researching, editing, publishing, and promoting content. And so far, I earn nothing from it. But in a year or two, this channel will be earning me around $500 a month. Whether I post videos or not, my past collection, which will include this video in 2 years, will be bringing in money. It's short-term pain for long-term gain though. I'm putting in the work now in the hope that my efforts will generate sufficient passive income in the future. This may sound like a pipe dream, but people are earning it every day of the week. Turning your attention to this form of income is a great way to do it. As a bonus, if you are interested in this approach, I massively recommend that you read Tim Ferriss' book, The 4-Hour Work Week. He talks about creating your muse in the context of starting a business and using it to earn passive income. It is hugely inspiring and full of actionable ideas to make it happen. Entrepreneurship or starting a business is another route out. This approach won't necessarily lower your working hours. You may even end up working more, especially at the beginning. For someone who wants control over their time and to remove any ceiling from their earning potential, starting a business is a great bet. Being a business owner means you're no longer working to earn money for somebody else. Even better, the nature of business means you're solving a problem in the world. You get to make a positive difference in people's lives as a result. It carries risk, for sure. You could fail, lose money, or lose face, and so on. Think about it this way. No one among the Forbes billionaires is employed. Instead, all of them own or co-own the businesses that made them hit the billionaire levels of wealth. Then, we have investing. This approach basically comes down to using your money to make more of it. Rather than sitting on a pile of cash, you invest it in things like stocks and shares. You spend less than you earn and invest the difference. As a result of interest and dividends accruing and being paid out over time, you can end up making your money work for you, ending up with more than you started with. And in the context of this video, that cash can help you out of the rat race. 5. Lastly, you just need to start. Unless you win the lottery or receive a huge inheritance, it's not likely that you'll escape the rat race in a single day, month, or year. It takes time and consistent small actions. But small actions can compound over time into true financial freedom. It isn't easy, but it is absolutely possible. Keep reminding yourself of your why each and every day. Escaping the rat race is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself and your family. However, it takes a lot of little consistent actions over time. No matter how small, remember that any steps forward are steps forward nonetheless.